Fate. Back to fate, eh? Delightful. Our first chapter title card thing. A pounding sound in regular intervals echoes. This pulls me awake and I blink at an unfamiliar landscape. I see he likes the color red. Very royal. Ah, right. Yesterday, me and Touya... I felt my face getting flushed as I remembered it. Even though I was under pressure, thinking about how I kept my cool, I felt as if I'd done something quite bold. Thinking about those brown eyes up close, the hot breath, the hand creeping along my body. Bringing it up fresh made me flustered. Let's forget about that. That was something we did out of necessity. I shake my head and once again notice the regularly occurring sound. I thought it was Touya at first, but if it was him, he would just enter the room without pounding on the door. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say Esta knocked on his own door, so it's not out of the question. Wait, is this my room? What are the customs in Nasla? While I was thinking about it, the pounding stopped. Thinking it was bad to keep Touya waiting, I called out in a hurry. I'm awake! Oh, look who's popped up after all this time! The mysterious Uru, who's only been mentioned like twice, maybe? I have no idea like who this guy is. Like what he looks like or anything. I just know that this is another route at some point. I can't remember if he's next or Ruzi, but anyway.
In that case, may I enter?
Who? I was perplexed at the unexpected voice that answered back. Was it a boy or a girl? Either way, I got the impression it was someone young. If it's a child, I could lower my guard. Yeah, but who?
I am the Chamberlain assigned to Her Majesty from today. My name is Uru. Didn't you hear about this from Lord Touya?
No, Touya is... I looked down at the empty space next to me while answering. It was cold, indicating that he hadn't come back all night. He went out for a walk and it seems never came back.
Huh? That can't be.
The confused voice coupled with its youth made it sound cute. Smiling, I called out to the door. Anyway, please, come in.
May I?
Yes.
Okay, please, excuse me.
Oh my goodness. You are very cute.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Uru. From today, I will be devoted to serving Her Majesty. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
I found that I couldn't take my eyes off this Chamberlain that spoke and bowed in such a courteous manner. I didn't think there'd be such a beautiful young girl who could make even the spirits blush. Even though she's still young, I couldn't help but to feel bad for her once the men start swarming her in their early bird gets the worm free for all. Dang.
By any chance, did I say something I shouldn't have?
I was staring at her so intently that she tilted her head anxiously, wondering if she'd done something wrong. Even those mindless movements are cute. Am I mistaken? I thought Uru was a guy, but maybe it is a girl. Curiouser and curiouser. I'm sorry. I've just never seen a young girl as beautiful as you, so I was a bit enchanted. What's wrong? Okay, maybe I was right. I'm like, it is genuinely hard to tell with this one, but I'm like, I still feel like it is a guy. And considering now Uru's gone quiet, I'm like, I'm suspicious. Uru made a difficult face, perhaps not being used to being complimented. As she frowned, it arose my desire to protect her. I just wanted to hug her to bits and pieces. Oh boy. What?
This is a bit difficult for me to say, but...
Yeah? I found myself emotionally defenseless in front of this girl whose beauty rivaled that of the spirits. Dang, Naala. Even being from the enemy country of Nasla, cute is cute. Ah, seeing such cuteness heals the soul.
Actually...
Huh? I was so swept up by her that I failed to hear what she said. Whoops! I corrected my posture, and after taking a deep breath, Uru explained again. Alright, okay, thank you for the clarification very early. Poor Uru, it's just like, why do I have to look so beautiful?
Actually, I'm a boy.
Oh, a boy. A boy?
Well... My apologies.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I assumed incorrectly and kept saying rude things to you. I'm sorry.
Please, raise your head. You shouldn't bow to a chamberlain such as myself.
So, you'll forgive me?
It's not about forgiveness. I am Her Majesty's Chamberlain. Perhaps I'm asking this too late, but... do you accept me as your Chamberlain? I don't have much to offer you, but...
Don't have much to offer? Don't say that. Nothing gives me more joy, being in this castle just full of anxiety, than having your cute presence by my side.
Is that... true?
Yes, you're very calming. I laughed, and then he quickly stopped talking as if he had done something wrong. It looked like he was pondering how he should respond. After being silent for a bit, he gave another one of his proper bows.
Then, I am pleased to serve you.
You don't have to be so formal. I'm not from an important bloodline, and... That just makes me tired. It's so tiring to be bowed to all the time. Yeah, we can be cash. We might get a point up with Uru if we do this, though. I mean, that's okay. As long as we don't get too many. We'll work on that later. For science? For science. Yeah, okay. That makes sense to me. I'd like to have someone I could speak normally to.
Is that an order?
Huh? With my one-word answer, I look at Uru's face. He still had a cuteness that rivaled the spirit's, but he had a stiff expression on his face. I don't want to make it an order, though. Maybe he won't agree unless it's an order? I don't want to be mean, though. Uru has a cuteness that rivals the spirits. Okay, we didn't get an up for that one. Maybe he does want it to be an order. Okay. I'm putting that in my memory banks for later. Not particularly, but...
Then let us continue as is. We must not let the distinctions become blurred. Good man.
Okay then, we'll continue as is.
Yes, thank you very much.
He bowed his head deeply. This boy really is serious. I felt this from every corner of his gestures. How do I say? He's so honest, straightforward, and cute that I can't ask unreasonable things of him. If Touya assigned this kid to me knowing this, he's a master tactician. I sighed in resentment of my husband, who had not yet come back home. Man, she adopted the my husband very quickly. Where is that husband of mine? Gallivanting. She's already bickering with him. Oh, they are so old married couple. So, when are we gonna talk? I look at my contract husband, Touya, who finally came home with half-opened eyes. I waited until noon for him to return, my heart stiffened with anxiety and tension.
Why are you pouting?
I'm not pouting, I'm just impatient because you're not telling me the details. I had heard it last night, but as things were quite hectic, I couldn't hear the details. I won't be able to relax until I fully hear Touya's beliefs and intentions.
I told you to relax, I will. Oh, but before that, why don't you take a walk with me?
A walk? Right now, I want details more than I want to walk. Glaring at him, unable to hide my feelings, he replied,
Yeah.
with a smile.
If you're going to live here, you should get used to the area. Am I wrong?
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'll tell you the details as we walk.
Acting like we're a friendly married couple. How dare he? But could be a good chance. There we go. Let's agree. Agree! This could be a good chance to get to know Touya's intentions. It's hard to refuse this walk if what I'm after is going to be revealed within. I don't want to refuse here and remain in a confused state. Alright, sure. Where are we going?
Well, let's go around the courtyard and then head for the market in the afternoon.
Why do you want to go to the market again?
Today's the day when we get rare items from overseas, so there might be something there that you like. If there's something you like, anything at all, I'll get it for you.
As he talked, a short and fat man approached from in front of us. The clothes he wore were wonderful, but the smile coming from the person wearing them, and excuse me for saying so, but it just oozed a nasty disposition, and I don't know if it's because he's ugly, but he gave off the impression of a young boy. So we had a beautiful young boy, and now an ugly young boy. Zamuda. Gosh, what would even be like a good voice for someone named Zamuda? I have no idea.
Look at that! It's Lord Touya! Zamuda.
Touya called out the name of the man who had several followers with him. There was a bit of revulsion in his voice, which caused my internal sense of caution to strengthen. Not that this is a criteria for judgment, but given the conversations up to now, the people who oppose Touya are those who disrespect women. I have no idea what this guy is going to say.
What do you want? Oh, I'm fine. There's nothing I'm after. As Lord Touya did not consider my proposal, I found myself with quite a bit of free time.
As I thought, this Zamuda seems to be a political opponent of Touya's.
I believe I told you to fix that bill and submit it. If you have free time, why not use some of it to work on those corrections? No, but you see, what I submitted was the corrected version. If you tell me to fix it without even looking at it, I'm afraid I won't be able to save face. Or perhaps His Majesty has been too absorbed in playing with our new Her Majesty.
I could feel him only checking out my face, chest, and stomach, and it made me feel even more unpleasant. I could feel my stomach churning in disgust.
Oh, she's got a nice body there. Certainly she'll give us a lot of princes.
I felt chills at his blunt, frank words that didn't even try to hide his lecherous nature. If he's looking at me as something taken from an enemy country, he may not even see me as a human the same as him. To this guy, women are just tools for sexual pleasure or cattle for giving birth. I have a personality. I'm not just all looks, okay? I doubt he's aware of that. He wouldn't be treating me so badly otherwise.
You're one of them Roos women, yeah? You caught you a good one. Getting them from overseas, they tend to die too easy. But those are nice in that they don't fight back.
I'm so disgusted that I can't even open my mouth. I hate breathing the same air as this guy. Facts. Looking diagonally upwards, Touya was expressionless. No, looking closely, I could see a coldness deep in his eyes, as if gazing at trash. I think he hates this guy, too. He seems to have taken our silence as acceptance. And, having just gained our acceptance, he began to line up his next unpleasant utterances. If he talks right now, I might punch him. My inner feelings went straight to my fist. As I unconsciously clenched my fist, Touya, who had remained silent, took a deep sigh.
I believe we are well aware of how you view women. Well then, we're done here, right? Not quite. You see, what I want to say... Lord Touya, you've settled down, and so that everyone else can find a woman of their own, I'd like you to pass the bill that will let us bring them in freely. That's what I was getting at. I will ask, just to be sure, but you do understand that the women who are brought here are not slaves, correct? Yes, of course. There are those who do buy slaves. And you seem to have a slave there with a collar around her neck. Ah, yes, I bought this slave woman from overseas the other day. She's got such a nice body. I enjoy watching her walk around on all fours naked.
I can't tell if it's because of the fat or if his nose is clogged up, but when Zamuda laughs, he sounds like a pig snorting. I pride myself on not judging people's character based on their appearance, but for the first time in my life, I thought that someone was just as ugly inside as they are out. Pigs are cuter. Shout out to Jiggy's Root. Animals still have an innocent charm about them. However, this man's laugh is unable to conceal the contempt and pride behind it.
Women are not domestic animals.
The tone of Touya's voice is low and cold. It had such an intensity that it felt like this bright corridor had suddenly gone dark. He hadn't said this to me, but I felt my palms get sweaty. I remembered when we crossed swords on the battlefield. He's always so carefree and cheerful that I forgot it, but Touya does also have this kind of face. This cold, overwhelming intimidation that prostrates everything before it with no mercy. Seeing his usual cheerfulness, I have to wonder where this iciness comes from.
Ah, well, that's...
Zamuda, immediately flustered, wiped beads of sweat off his forehead and tried to play things off.
The slave you brought didn't last 2 months. It'd be the same even if it was your wife. But as they say, slaves are slaves. Wives are wives. Be her a slave or a kidnapped woman, a woman is a woman. Did you know that, Zamuda? Women are precious beings that give birth to and raise children. A slave? Precious! You should try giving birth sometime, Zamuda.
Damn! Get him, Touya!
What? Or perhaps, if someone has their way with you, you may come to understand how women feel, no? Ah, come to think of it, I do know a guy who fancies guys like you. How would you like to try getting pounded until you puke blood, just like a slave?
Wow! This escalated.
Ah, you're a funny guy. I'm dead serious. The next time you make a similar request, by royal order I will have him have his way with you until you die.
Holy crap! Zamuda, if I were you, I would go on a very long extended vacation. But also, if you want to stay here and get put in the dirt, I'm okay with it. Oh no, I think I found someone for the Black Ops to take out again. Zamuda's face went pale as he seemed to imagine him taking the place of a slave. Probably because what he usually does to his slaves is so terrible.
We bring women here to restore our national strength. I have zero inclination to give anything to a man who doesn't understand that. As always, only those who have permission can enter the first district. If we don't have limits, then people like you will take root, giving me more work to do. Is there still something you'd like to say, Zamuda? Be it on the lower end, but you are at any rate one of the ministers. You do have the right to speak.
He spoke with a deliberate politeness, emphasizing lower end and at any rate. Zamuda, resentful over being ridiculed, forced a smile and clicked his tongue.
Do you have a complaint? Oh, no. His Majesty's opinion is quite right. You have opened my eyes. I believe I'll hurry back to my mansion and immediately start considering those revisions. Now, if you'll excuse me. Yeah, go do that.
Zamuda leaves with a reasonable parting. For a moment, as he turned away, I saw an even more hideous expression on his already ugly face. What was that?
Sadly, that's one part of our country. I wish I could send all those guys to jail. I'm sorry you had to see all of that.
His apologies sounded heavy, as if it was the accumulation of a lot of exhausting things. If he had to deal with that kind of guy constantly, that would be pretty tiring. Looking at him not as an enemy, but with sympathetic eyes, he sighed deeply as his expression crumbled.
Okay, let's continue our stroll.
Aw, the deliberate cheerfulness he put on after that. We were bathed in brilliant sunlight. The temperature during this season was neither too hot or cold, enveloping us in a gentle warmth. Sunny days such as this make me feel sleepy.
Okay, so, where should we start?
On a clear day such as this, it felt silly for us to try and feel out each other's intentions. First, let's unravel the details of this contract from a simple point of view. Is the reason for restricting those who can enter the first district to keep guys like that out?
That's right. Well, I'd like to be cool and end things there, but unfortunately, there's also priority for the privileged class.
You're straightforward.
Even if I tried to color things with a fabrication, you'd see right through me. And we can only enter into this contract correctly if I lay out all our cards.
Perhaps he was considering how he should best deal with this, as a king. His gaze was a bit stern, and it felt like we were facing each other not as individuals, but as countries. He's acknowledging me not as a woman, but as a presence worth entering into a contract with. I'm happy there's no sexual interest involved here. Yeah, definitely not. Nope, it's not like there was anything like that last night at all. Nope. So, I reconsider, and decide to face him seriously, not as an enemy or a man, but as someone on an equal footing. This is a unique situation, but this is, so to speak, diplomacy for Roos. Why do you go so far to protect Roos women? Ever since bringing us here, Touya has consistently maintained an attitude of protecting us, including that exchange from before. Even with that lowly positioned minister, he openly dismissed those opinions that held women in contempt, even though that could cause problems.
What do you mean, why?
Thinking about it from the man's perspective in terms of efficiency, it would be easier to let him choose as he liked.
Your face is telling me that you hate the idea.
I certainly didn't like saying it.
I'll bet.
That selection law, isn't that problematic for you guys? It was unpleasant and I hated it, but for that guy before, it was easy to see what he was all about. I have no idea what you're thinking.
I believe I've been explaining it since the beginning.
It's too good of an explanation, which is actually scary. Your initial actions, and now... It's like you're a hero, but the two don't mesh. My apologies, but it's just kinda...
Creepy?
It's like you're standing together with the women of Roos. Why are you doing this? Why go this far?
I see. You think I have some ulterior motive.
People, especially those involved in politics, don't do anything unless there's something in it for him.
Everything I've told you has been the truth. However, as you said, there is some benefit for me in it. Through protecting women, I want to stop the vicious cycle in Nasla.
Vicious cycle?
For the women who are brought here forcibly, at best she will have some sort of trauma from it. And if we demand that she gives birth in that condition, there's no way she'll develop any affection for Nasla. Resentment towards Nasla. In my father's generation, there were quite a few women who chose death.
Was your mother one of them?
With the current shortage of women throughout the continent, we cannot afford to lose this precious existence due to our immediate desires. Don't you think that it's far more productive to be a country where the woman loves Nasla, takes up roots here, and chooses to leave children behind here? If not, Nasla will continue to decline after the vicious cycle.
She will never love this country from the moment we bring her here forcefully.
And that's why I want to solve this issue from its roots.
The roots?
Right. We have to solve the main problem, which is the shortage of women.
Do you see a path for doing so?
Nothing will change if you give up just because you can't see the way forward. Through continued research, I'm sure we can find a cure someday. If we can develop a cure for the rot, then the threat of women dying will be gone, and we won't have to take women from Roos.
Finding a cure.
You think I'm daydreaming?
But no one knows the cause. All the experiments can do is guess.
Exactly. And that's why I want your help.
Huh?
Roos hasn't been affected as badly as Nasla. I suspect that there must be a reason for that. But even if I ask the people of Roos, they don't really trust me, and I can't get the information I want.
In other words, you'd like me to help you get information from the women.
If the women trust you, you should be able to do it. If we find a cure, then we can persuade the representatives. And if we persuade them, we can let those of you here now go home. And if we keep moving forward, we can normalize diplomatic relations with Roos.
He really does want to establish relations with us.
In this chaotic era, it doesn't matter what country you are. I want to create a bright future for everyone on this continent. Is that the face of being stunned into silence?
To be honest, I am stunned to that extent, yes. I knew that Touya was dissatisfied with the status quo, but I had no idea that he was looking towards the future so definitively. This grand dream that extends beyond country borders is kind of dizzying. If those are your ambitions, then why did you kidnap us? As the king, you have the power to change the laws.
I couldn't. In this country, there are ministers called the 12 Sages under the king, who make up the assembly. When making a significant resolution, the ministers' proposals must be unanimous. If the king's initiative changes the law, consent must be obtained from 4 of these ministers.
Wait, so are all ministers like that guy from before?
No. One of the ministers is the political assistant. So, no. He basically respects my opinions.
He seems like the most suspicious guy.
Don't hate him. I know how he can be, but he's actually a pretty kind guy.
Isn't that limited to you?
Well, I won't deny that.
He won't deny it. He's like, I can't lie. I mean, it's true.
The political assistant of this country is the king's right arm. Therefore, the king always chooses his own ally, because the rest is determined by the pedigree and he has no right to appoint them.
Meaning, aside from Noel, the others are a no. If he could find 3 others, then he could do something, but if the others are like that guy from before, then trying to talk to them would be like banging your head against a brick wall. Given that, you did a good job getting the selection law passed.
I was able to pass that thanks to Minister Orda.
Ah, it always comes back to Minister Orda, doesn't it? Orda?
His is the second oldest and most influential clan after the royal family. His voice cannot be underestimated.
Which means that this Orda signed off on the kidnapping as well.
As the number of women fell below a certain number set by the previous king, he was probably worried about our country's future.
Worried in his own way, perhaps. Touya's voice took on a darker tone. I felt Touya's anguish, and I couldn't quite formulate what I was going to say next. So let me think about it. Even as a king, there's plenty of things you can't do, or Touya's got his own things to deal with. I mean, this is impersonal, this is more personal, so I'm assuming this is probably getting us closer to thinking of him as, like, a person, rather than what he stands for. Nice. Touya's got his own things to deal with. It must have been pretty frustrating to have to take the lead as the king, despite his own dissatisfaction with it. That resentment hasn't disappeared, but as the same person, he feels sorry for the pressure. Do you really want to improve the relationship with Roos?
Of course. Roos isn't the only one hurting from continued wars. Even now, there's strong opposition to the selection law, but with no alternatives on the table, the previous king's law is still in effect.
The one you talked about before?
Yeah. The order of, if the number of women falls below a certain number, we will take them from Roos. Honestly, I feel like that's out of date. Laws and policies should change with the times. Despite that, pigs like that guy... guys who are driven by their immediate desires are fighting against change. It's problematic.
If you can't see any result from the research, it's natural that, for the time being, they'd want to increase the numbers. Of course, I'm not validating that claim at all.
But, do you support my ideas?
Of course, solving the problem of the shortage of women and ending wars is a good thing. Even so, that doesn't mean I trust you completely.
At any rate, I'm glad we could find an agreement. It's good to have as many war buddies as possible.
War buddy? Me?
The wife fights together with her husband, right?
In theory, yes.
You're tough. I'm not saying to love me romantically, so maybe I could get a little sympathy, no?
I don't think a person strong enough to dismiss the opposition like that needs any sympathy. Aww. We're war buddies, yay! Looking at him with half-closed eyes, Touya shrugged his shoulders and looked up at the sky. His smile seemed endlessly cheerful, but had a hint of sadness to it.
I'm not strong. I'm far weaker than you think. Which is why I'm asking if you will fight by my side.
Wouldn't a strong man make for a better ally?
What's important is not physical strength. I think that infinite possibilities are created when both hearts are close to each other. A life where you don't have someone close to you is very sad. Loneliness can irritate a person, drive them mad.
Have you ever gone mad?
I'd like you to work with me as soon as possible so that doesn't come to be.
I'll think about it. For the sake of Roos.
You really are tough. That's what makes you interesting, and is why I like you.
You probably say you like everyone.
I don't say it to people I dislike.
Touya is probably not looking at me as a member of the opposite sex, which is why he can so casually say that he likes me. Goodness. I was half amazed at the carefreeness of an adult male such as him, so afterwards I wryly smiled in envy. You really are a carefree spirit.
That's right. I am enjoying my freedom now.
Now? As opposed to before? I had to wonder internally. I became a bit concerned about that, but my thoughts were suddenly interrupted by the hand outstretched before me. What?
Let's hold hands.
Why?
Because I'd like to.
He's very, you know what? He's very straightforward. He's just like, I wanna. I just wanna hold your hand. I can appreciate that. I sigh at this carefree request, just as I was thinking that we're not kids.
Okay, let's go!
Huh? Wait! Before I could refuse, he took my hand and walked at such a steady pace that I couldn't shake him off. I raised my head to complain and found a big smile on his face. Aww, this line is so cute. Stop. He's precious.
When I met my bride, I always wanted to take her by the hand and walk through the courtyard. I'm happy that one of my dreams came true.
Seeing his childlike innocence took away my spite. It'd be foolish of me to get angry at every little thing at this point.
Now this flower is in full bloom.
He explained and touched a shrub with white flowers on the branches. It was a small flower, adorable like light snow.
It's cute and not too flashy, yeah?
Do you like admiring flowers?
I do. Every year when they bloom, I enjoy coming out and drinking alcohol.
Together with everyone in the castle?
No, just me.
I wondered if he didn't have any friends. Kind of a rude thing to think. You don't go drinking with Surin? You two seemed pretty friendly.
Yeah, well, he definitely is a friend, but... He was originally good friends with a common acquaintance, so our relationship is kinda special.
Well, being surrounded by people normally, I imagine you'd want to have some alone time. I drink by myself sometimes, too.
Really? The next time, let's drink together.
You mean like last time? But don't you want to be alone?
No. It's lonely being all by myself.
How many people in this world can honestly admit that they're lonely? It's true. It's true. Many people try to hide these feelings as one of their weaknesses. The older you get, the stronger the inclination to do so. But Touya said I hate being lonely as if it were a natural thing to do so. He's childish in weird ways. It's a strange feeling. Looking at how he responded to the minister, I know that Touya can be calculating and handle people skillfully. Despite that, sometimes I feel like I'm dealing with an innocent child. It's not that he's unfamiliar with the ways of the world. Ow! Being so absorbed in my thoughts, I forgot to deal with a gust of wind. Did the wind blow something into you? Some of my hair got blown into a tree branch as a bit of pain spread across my face. Oh, the tree branch hit you. Gotcha.
Oh! Are you alright?
I'm fine. I just got my hair tangled. Okay, so your hair got wrapped around the branch and then yank. That would hurt. However, looking back, this wasn't a simple tangle. Seeing my predicament, Touya began to untangle my hair.
This really did get tangled up something good.
Can you untangle it?
Maybe. It would be faster to just cut it.
The branch?
Your hair.
No way. Beautiful long hair is considered to be a symbol of female beauty, so all women work hard to keep it. Hair is a woman's life.
It's more important than your life?
I was joking, but it seems like the joke was lost on Touya. Overly surprised, I followed up in a hurry. I mean, maybe I'd cut it if there were no other options.
When would that be?
For example, if I had to cut it in order to protect my pride or something important. Something like that? Yeah. She has cut her hair before.
Your hair is that important. As a guy, I don't quite get it.
Men like women with long hair, don't they? On this continent, that's one of the things that determines beauty from ugliness.
No. I like both.
Oh yeah. He's so straightforward. He's like, huh? What are you saying about hair? I don't care. You like both? Can you really picture a woman with short hair?
Sure. I thought you'd look cute with short hair.
Is that so? It didn't seem like he was trying to flatter me, but that he really thought so, which made it worse. Maybe that's why he was even more smitten in Noel's route than other times, because he's like, oh, she's got the short hair, now she's even cuter. Happy, like, cute. Just today, how many times has he said these affectionate words? I was hesitant to call him out on it, as he has no bad intentions behind it. But while I was hesitant, I felt these words entering my heart.
I can't quite untangle this.
Maybe because I said it was so important, Touya was especially cautious in trying to untangle my hair. Looking at his earnest face, I ended up casually asking a personal question. Why did you kidnap me?
Huh?
Why did you, who is against kidnapping women, take me?
Even now, I am very remorseful about that. But if I'd left things as is, you would have been killed by those soldiers. I didn't want that to happen. But ultimately, it was my selfishness. I know that apologizing will do nothing to make you feel better about it. So, you do hate me.
Well, I did at first. Having been abducted forcefully, it would have been impossible not to hate you.
And what about now?
Now? I'm not sure. I don't hate you as I did before, but that doesn't mean that I've forgiven you.
Right, of course. I did do something terrible.
But I would like to agree with your posture of changing the future of this continent. Touya gasped, and the force shook the twig, causing the hair he'd carefully unraveled to fall off. Hooray! We faced each other as I looked directly into his brown eyes. Surprising myself, I unwaveringly took Touya's hand and redid our handshake from that night. So, I'll ask you as well. If this contract will brighten the future of women, then I'll believe in you.
Naala.
Okay, let's go to the next place. I felt a little uncomfortable as he stared back at me. Feeling my face getting flushed and not wanting him to see it, I turned around and started walking. I took about 5 steps and turned to look at Touya, who wasn't following. Touya was holding a strand of my hair. Perhaps the hair that had fallen out when being unraveled. Touya stared at it with an absent-minded look. Touya?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
He rushed to me in a bit of a hurry and walked alongside me. While walking, Touya spoke in a whisper.
Your hair has an unusual color.
You think it's weird?
No. It shines like a jewel. It's beautiful.
Another step into my heart! I couldn't refuse these warm, pure words that were without ulterior motives. I wonder if this is being moved by affection. Thanks. That look of eagerness, like, ha-ha! A short thanks, but he gives me a full smile in return. You could see his happy feeling overflowing from his whole body.
You're so kind. To say thanks to me, someone who did something horrible to you.
I'm not particularly kind.
No, you are kind. I love that about you.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I got it. You don't need to keep saying it. Touya has definitely forgotten that I'm a woman. That's the only way he can be so frank with me, even as just a friend. Looking sideways at him while he walked with a bounce in his step, I sighed with a complicated feeling.